Yeah. Let's go!
It's the beginning, we already winning. We ripping like Jack, so you know that we killing. The flow is so cold that the bone is chilling. Just give me a minute, I'm feeling revisions. Malicious versus and destroy competition. The newest edition, the walk up and kill it. The war of attrition, we bring demolition. No need for permission, we never pay a mission. Hey.
I be on that light skin, I be on the top, you know that. I be on that right shit, I be way up. I be on that light skin, I be on the top, you know way.
It's Monday, and you know what that means as tensions on the road to WrestleMania continues to reach a fever pitch. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Monday Night Carnage. We are less than 2 weeks away from the biggest show of the calendar year, and I hope New Orleans is ready because we are not wasting any time. There will be no such delay because representing the Order is one of Jeff Hardy's minions, in my opinion, and the best kept secret, Buddy Murphy. Before he made his way out here moments ago, we were able to get into the mind of Murphy ahead of his showdown with Drew McIntyre. Let's take you back to what he had to say just before he made his entrance out here moments ago. So this mission is the same, to build a vision in the eyes of, or I guess to say in the will of Jeff Hardy. But I don't know if Murphy knew this or not. As he was walking away, Jeff Hardy was seen lurking in the shadows. He's been MIA since the Royal Rumble up until his return to confront Seth Rollins. But with everything going on with Lio Rush seeking revenge and no true status on the health of Karrion Kross after being smashed in the face with that foreign-looking bat by the Blackheart, Murphy, he has to show a glimpse of solace. He has a lot on his back for this group he's associated with by completing the order that was given to him by the right hand to the here and the now Seth Rollins and the head Jeff Hardy. But that might be easier said than done, if you ask me, because he is not going up against a mere mortal man. He is going up against this man, making his in-ring return for the first time since Joker's Wild last year after he was practically destroyed by Karrion Kross. He is the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. Look at the eyes of McIntyre. He is seeing nothing but rage and blood because he is thirsty for revenge. Former Intercontinental Champion, recently aligned with Keith Lee, who has been barred from ringside. But when I spoke with Drew earlier today, he said he helps Keith because they are good friends, but the time for watching people's backs are over. He needs his revenge for what Kross did to him in Vegas. And in his mind, this is the first step to getting that exact revenge. But like I said, no one has heard from Kross since Rush took him out with that bat-like object, which was kind of, if I looked at it, was wrapped in spikes and who knows what else. But there you see McIntyre surveying this New Orleans crowd and letting out a roar. And the Order, speaking of what happened with Kross, the Order isn't exactly a group that likes to divulge weaknesses. Nevertheless, Drew is back in action as we are vastly approaching WrestleMania. This crowd is ready. Murphy, McIntyre, both men are ready. And here we go, and we're underway. Referee Jessica Carr is your official assigned to this one. Neither man backing down from the fight or the challenge. Well, don't call it tie up. I was not expecting this, but Drew quickly overpowered him. And Luther's press, raining down those lethal strikes. You already know he's going to let his power game get the full advantage of this one. That does Drew McIntyre as he sends Murphy into the corner, and now unleashing months and months of rage on the best kept secret. We probably wish he was kept a secret, because now he is dealing with an enraged warrior in Drew McIntyre. What a night is going to be tonight as Drew establishes dominance with that reverse STO. What a night is going to be tonight, ladies and gentlemen, including the #1 contender tag team tournament semifinals, the last semifinals of the tournament. Rated RKO versus FTR. More on that in just a bit as we progress as the night goes on. Roll through. Oh, Murphy had it scouted and had with that, and now it's sweeping the legs. Murphy trying to keep McIntyre at bay. He has been given his orders by Jeff Hardy and Seth Rollins, and that is to deal with the situation. Like I said, no true update on the status of Karrion Kross after being smashed in the face by Lio Rush 2 weeks ago. Oh, what an uppercut by Murphy. Sending him off the ropes. Oh, and what a takedown by Murphy. He has proven that he will not be no slouch despite McIntyre being slightly bigger than him. He is not about to be a slouch. He has been given his orders, but what is up with Jeff Hardy? I have to ask, what is up with Jeff Hardy and him lurking in the shadows ever since he gave that vague message to Seth Rollins that you'll know what is going on when the time is right? Something is up with that. Or I might be thinking too much into it as McIntyre isn't thinking too much into destroying Buddy Murphy right here. What little amount of offense that Murphy had is now in serious shows wrist. Oh, what a wrist lock. Back suplex. And now the strength of McIntyre in the gut wrench into the slam. Like I said, Murphy has the daunting task of dealing with this Drew McIntyre situation, but he's about to deal with another situation. He's about to be another stay with a reverse Alabama slam. Ooh. Smart strategy for Murphy to throw up his fists, or at least to try to block those fists from McIntyre, but that might be easier said than done because McIntyre is all about destroying whoever's put in front of him. And another reverse STO by the former Intercontinental Champion. Oh, the strength of McIntyre, the disciple, the minion of Jeff Hardy, with the blood rushing to his head, the leg vertical suplex. I don't know if that was instincts or just being smart, but he rolled to the outside to catch a breather. But oh wait, the quickness of Murphy sweeping the leg with McIntyre. Oh, and he landed on that apron, the hardest part of the ring, and now Murphy, and yeah, I guess he found his target. Oh, what a fury! Off is in a knee. Murphy stalking McIntyre on the outside. Now he has to find a way to get him. Oh, bounce him off the barricade right there as this crowd is trying to rally behind McIntyre. Oh, Murphy, where he is most comfortable. Going for the, oh, what a knee drop. A big boss knee drop. And now is that enough to put him away to only a one? He's going to do a lot to keep this man down, but he got a one count, and now he's going to try his best to do what he can. Oh, what a lariat. And another lariat going out of the way. Oh, and McIntyre responded in kind. He responded in kind. Now he's stalking Murphy. Claymore! McIntyre not quick to go for that pin. He is sending a message to the order. Usually he'll put him away with that Claymore, but he's sending a message to Jeff Hardy and Seth Rollins that they mess with him. They mess with the wrong man. No one bouncing him off face first. And now, McIntyre has him. What up? Oh, what a belly-to-belly overthrow. McIntyre's on a whole nother level. He is back in the game, and he's here to reclaim his dominance. Get to the midsection. We know what this is. Future shot DDT. I hope the order is watching because their problems with McIntyre are far from over. You know what this is. He has him prime position. Claymore! A second Claymore, Drew McIntyre victorious over Buddy Murphy in convincing fashion. What a win by Drew McIntyre. He dominated Buddy Murphy. Murphy tried his best. I thought it was over right there with that knee drop from the top, but that wasn't it. And then he got caught with this first Claymore kick, but that wasn't it. A future shot DDT, and then a second Claymore. Oh, he kicked his head clean off. As I said, as he made the cover and picked up the dominant win, Drew McIntyre is back. He's better than ever. It appears that every enemy the Order makes always come back stronger than ever, and the Scottish Warrior is no exception. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I've just received word that when we return from commercial break, we will actually hear the immediate thoughts of Drew McIntyre after this dominant victory as New Orleans continues to shower their support for the former Intercontinental Champion. Don't go anywhere. That is next. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still showering himself in the praise of the fans here in attendance. Let's hear what Drew McIntyre has to say following that impressive victory over Buddy Murphy of the Order. Straight message to Jeff Hardy. Yeah, no one knows what happened to Cross. He's challenging Jeff Hardy to a fight next week. And whether it's next week on the Final Carnage before WrestleMania or the Twitch TV special, Drew McIntyre has challenged the man who started all of this, Jeff Hardy, to another fight. But will the leader of the Order accept, as he has been very limited on his actions since the Royal Rumble? But what a way to kick off tonight's show, and we're far from done, as the last semi-final match of the tag team tournament takes place as Rated RKO battles FTR. Last week, Wheeler and Hardwood claimed they respected Randy Orton, but that is out the window with everything at stake. The winners of this match face War Raiders next week in the finals, and they've been barred from the arena due to the explosive elements of their situation. But tonight, I will try to get all the dirt, as both Sasha Banks and Bayley will be with us live via satellite to speak on their pending showdown at WrestleMania. They will have no choice but to keep it civilized this time. What will they have to say? Also, this next one is all about respect, as Walter felt disrespected when Chris Jericho refused to tag him in during a 6-man tag team match where he was handpicked by Jericho. And how did Walter respond to the disrespect? He powerbombed Jericho on the floor, and that set the stage for tonight. Jericho and Walter one-on-one for the first time ever. And speaking of first-time evers, before they clash in that huge 8-woman elimination tag team match at WrestleMania, it's the man versus the baddest woman on the planet. In our main event of the broadcast, as Becky Lynch goes one-on-one with Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Now, earlier today, we were able to get word from both women. Let's check it out. I don't know how to feel about Becky's chances, but more women appear to be ready. Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch is our main event with nothing more than pride on the line and heavy momentum. Less than 2 weeks before they clash at WrestleMania in that 8-woman elimination tag team match. But that is later tonight, and by the sound of this music that is coming up, it is time to move on to this first time one-on-one encounter between Chris Jericho and Walter. And as you can see, Jericho is walking to the ring. He is walking out here alone as his associate Jake Hager has been wished the best of luck in his future endeavors, and Jericho's inner circle has been reduced to a crowd of one, at least here in the WWE. And he needs to put that nonsense in the back of his mind and focus on the task at hand, and that is he will be standing across the ring from a man that will make anyone who says they're tough, and I mean anyone who says that they're tough, that they can take this and take that, he will make them out to be liars. And if you're Chris Jericho, you need to avoid those lethal chops at all costs, or you're practically screwed both physically and mentally, because those chops are unlike any I have ever seen in my life. Whether you love him or hate him, you gotta respect Chris Jericho because he is the first ever undisputed champion in wrestling history. But will he make history tonight and be one of very, very few to ever pin the ring general in one-on-one competition? And I know there is someone out there probably asking, why do you call him the ring general? Simply put it like this. When that music plays, you know you're in for something quite serious. This man has made this sport a part of his life. Some do it for money, some do it for fame, some do it just because they're bored. He do it for the honor and the respect that comes along with it. Keyword respect. I mentioned that with Jericho when he's the first ever undisputed champion in wrestling history. But the key word for Walter is respect, because Walter believes that the mat is sacred, and anyone who proves they're not worthy will be dealt with accordingly. Now let's take you back to 4 weeks ago where this all came about. Walter felt disrespected when Jericho wouldn't tag him into the match, and he decided to leave him hanging high and dry. And when Jericho got in the face of Walter, well, that was a costly mistake, as you can see in just a matter of moments, as he suffered a powerbomb, a brutal powerbomb on the floor for his efforts. No more stalling or delay. These two will go to battle with nothing but respect and pride on the line. Can Jericho stand toe-to-toe with the former NXT United Kingdom champion? We'll find out next. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Jericho is pacing back and forth because he knows he's standing in the ring with someone who's no slouching Walter. There goes the bell, and we are underway. First time ever encounter between Walter and Le Champion Chris Jericho, as Jericho playing mind games already out the gate, making Walter wait. Jericho has made a career out of playing mind games with the best of them, including The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, just to name a few. And it doesn't matter if it's the first time encounter between these two, Walter will have to wait just like everyone else as he's continuing to play mind games. And oh, Jessica Clark stepping in, and now Jericho looking to take advantage. As he does float over into the net. Oh, Walter just pushed him off into a lariat. Good God. He might have just taken his man's head. Oh, what a boot to the side of the face. Jericho tried to play mind games with Walter, but like I said, Walter is a ring general because he's dealt with the best of them. What a boot. And now Jericho, oh! A bonsai drop type move by Walter to Jericho. I don't know, he might regret pissing off Walter. Sends him into the corner, does Walter. Now Jericho in trouble already out of the gate. He tried to play mind games, and he's still paying for it right now. What a knife-edge chop. That's what I'm telling you about. You got to avoid those chops. I'm pretty sure Jericho saw his life flashing before his eyes. He probably wished he was with his kids right now because, oh my God, what a vertical suplex by Walter. If that chop doesn't do anything to you, any move that Walter does makes you feel like you're superior. Oh, Jericho taking advantage, sends him crashing to the apron. Oh, what a shot to the face, and now Jericho. Oh, and a draping DDT. What a draping DDT from the outside, bringing him in the hard way, scraping the boot off his head, and now, oh, what a knee to the side of the face. Walter may be a ring general, but Jericho, he knows a thing or two about being in there with the best of them, so he would do whatever it takes to make sure that Walter is no different. Oh, now Jericho, sunset flip into the power bomb. Jericho enticing this crowd here in New Orleans. Oh, what a knee to the back of the neck. Because he knows he got them in the palm of his hand, and now he got Walter right where he wants him. All this started when Jericho wouldn't tag this man in. All he had to do was tag this man in when they went against British Strong Style. But he did no such thing, and he's paying for it. It's kind of smart when you look at it. Jericho's targeting that arm, because if you target that arm, you target not only the chops, but oh, never mind. Never mind. He might have just chopped the soul from the body on Chris Jericho. Oh, now Jericho is familiar with this because he got powerbomb on the outside. What does Walter have in mind here? Oh, Walter going for the powerbomb again, but no, Jericho fighting out of it because he knows what it felt like. And now, oh, what a form. Pretty sure it looks like Jericho has been studying some tapes. He studied the tapes, and now Jericho to the top. Walter. Oh, what an elbow drop. Shades of the legendary Shawn Michaels, who has his own problems as we inch closer to WrestleMania. Oh, what a boot. And again, Jericho, he feels like he got this one in the bag. And again, targeting that arm, which is smart because you target that arm, you take away the ability. Oh, what a knife edge shot by oh, and he got him down. He's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And now, Jericho. Oh, the transition into the Lion Tamer. Knee to the back of the neck. Will Walter tap? To my knowledge, he has never tapped out. Oh, roll through. Oh, and he found a way to roll through. May have been the size, the massive frame of Walter. I don't know, but he found a way to break free of the Lion Tamer now with a lariat. And another one. Oh, what a boot. What a boot to the side of the face by Walter. And now Walter, we saw this 4 weeks ago with the powerbomb, but now Jericho once again. I don't know if he got him scouted or what, but powerbomb, he got out of that, and now he's about to float him over. He's about to hit him with the Lion Tamer. No, he transitions into the walls of Jericho. Boston Crab, only Jericho can do it like this. Walter scratching and clawing. Is he going to be able to break hold or at least get to the rope? Will he do it? Yes, he does. Jericho is like a shark smelling blood in the water. Walter is in the line of Jericho's patented Judas effect. What the? That's the music of Walter playing. And oh my God! I know these three gentlemen. Jericho can't believe what he's seeing. On your left, Fabian Eichner. On your right, Marcel Bartel. And of course in the center is former tag team champion Alexander Wolf. Are they pledging their allegiance to the ring general? Jericho can't believe what he's seeing right now. Oh, Walter caught him off guard with that boot to the skull. What did we just see? Walter to the top. Is he going for that big splash? But Jericho, I guess he had his wits about him to get out of the way of that one, but he probably don't have his wits about him to get out of the way of this one as Walter locks in the sleeper. But what is the story here? Wolf, Eichner, Bartel distracted Jericho, and Jericho made a mistake, and he got distracted long enough for Walter to lock in this sleeper. Jericho's fading in with Jericho taps. Walter with the victory over Chris Jericho with a small blemish next to the result. But what is the story here? Nevertheless, let's take you back to what went down during this first time encounter between Jericho and Walter. Jericho had the Lion's Hammer locked in and had the walls of Jericho locked in deep. But Walter found a way to get to the ropes. But during Jericho's setup for his patented Judas effect, he was distracted by the music of Walter, and that was just about enough for Jericho to be caught off guard by the arrival of Wolf, Eichner, and Bartel, and he was caught in this, the sleeper by Walter, and that was enough for Jericho to tap. But however you view this outcome remains to be seen. The result will forever read that Walter defeated Chris Jericho. But now the new question arises as these three gentlemen continue to look on. What does Imperium have in store for the WWE going forward? We have a new faction rising to the pinnacle of this profession. And how will Le Champion bounce back from this crushing and heartbreaking loss to the man he disrespected all those weeks ago? Daniel Bryan training for what is considered a huge match that could change one of the main events of WrestleMania, but he needs to get past a very focused beast in Brock Lesnar to do it. But as you can see, the Rebellion is very focused, and now is their last chance to heighten their presence at WrestleMania as we are now getting set for the last semifinals match of the Tag Team Tournament. Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, FTR are former tag team champions and would love nothing more than to have another opportunity at those titles, but they need to get past a very focused Rated RKO who has made it this far. Will they be able to do that? The semifinals of the tag team tournament takes place when we come back next. Welcome back. New Orleans is ready for what's in store in the semifinals of the tag team tournament. FTR is focused on the task at hand, and they need to be, because out first is the Viper and former multi-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Randy Orton. After being on the injury reserve list for nearly a year, Randy has used this opportunity to shake the cobwebs off and to get one more run, if you will, with his longtime friend and fellow Rated RKO partner, Edge, which has been impressive thus far with a dominant win over the Rebellion's Zack Ryder and Wade Barrett, which opened a lot of people's eyes, making them think, oh, I need to pay them very close attention. This is nostalgia. This is all about grit and determination, including FTR, proving they are ready to climb back to the top of the tag team mountain that they once held back in 2006 and 2007. But that was then, and this is now. The tag team landscape is completely different and a lot more brutal, but they've shown that they can hang with the very best of them. Will they be able to do it yet again, but this time against an incredible tag team, whether you love them or not, an FTR, formerly known as the Revival. But FTR said they have respect for Randy Orton, but they said nothing about this man. Orton's tag team partner, the Rated R Superstar, and WWE Hall of Famer, Edge. When I spoke with Edge earlier today about what his mindset is going into this, and he stated this, and I quote, "By the end of the night, FTR and everyone in that locker room will remember just who in the hell he is, and they will have no choice but to put some respect on his name," end quote. And seeing that fire in this man's eyes told me everything I needed to know is that FTR will either prove themselves to be one team to beat, or Rated RKO will make them eat their words from last week. Nevertheless, the stakes are high. This is a high-stakes match, and we are moments away with the winners facing the War Raiders next week in the finals, with the Street Profits waiting on the winners at WrestleMania. Due to the importance of this match, senior official Mike Chioda has been assigned to this one. FTR, Rated RKO, semifinals of the tag team tournament, and we are underway as Cash Wheeler and Randy Orton start off with this one. They say they have respect for Randy Orton, but that has gone out the window due to they feel that they disrespected the Rebellion when they basically dominated Zack Ryder and Wade Barrett. But now they are in the game with two of the best in the biz. That is, oh, what a cheap shot by Orton, proving that he is just a snake and you should never trust a viper. Are they going for another elbow and cause high up? They do, and this time Wheeler pushes him back into the corner. Chioda's going to step back in and try to get a clean break from both of them. Oh, and another cheap shot by Orton, and that one just pissed off Wheeler immensely, and now Wheeler unleashing his fury over the former multi-time world champion. Oh, now Orton responding. Look at his chest already welting up. Oh, what a forearm by Wheeler. And an uppercut got him rocked right there. And a drop kick. A drop kick to the chest of Orton. Going down to a knee. And now Wheeler. Oh, no, he plants him. The story for this is simple. The winner of this match will face Hanson and Raymond Rowe next week on the final Carnage before WrestleMania. It seems like this crowd here in New Orleans wants Edge in this match, because the last time Randy Orton let Edge pick up the bones and hit the spear on Zack Ryder so they can secure their spot, but now it looks like Orton needs to secure his knees, because, oh, that is the game plan of FTR, instead to target the knees and to target the legs, which Orton has a tendency, or at least, excuse me, a history of leg injuries. Oh, Dax the Axe is what the legends like to call him, and now he's looking to chop down Orton immensely with going after the knees, as I mentioned. And now this crowd here in New Orleans trying to rally behind Orton, trying to make sure that he stays into this one. You got to know the Street Profits are watching all these teams go at it for a shot at their titles at WrestleMania, which I can confirm will take place on WrestleMania night. Oh, no, what another kick. Orton's going to have to try his best. He's going to try his best to try to make the tag, and now Edge is begging for the tag, but every time he tries to begin the crawl, oh, what a shot to the clobbering blow to the back of the head. Every time he tries to reach his way around Edge, he's seen enough. And now Edge, it look like Dax is probably about to go for something, but Edge, oh, and he reverses it immensely, and now it looks like Wheeler, oh, takes out the knee, which Edge also has a series of leg injuries. The highly documented Achilles injury back in 2009 kept him out for a good minute, and now it looks like Orton is in serious trouble as Wheeler looking to get that submission victory over Orton right here and make sure that FTR have their spot in the finals. But that's easier said than done as Orton sends him crashing to the outside with that lariat. We are now in a one-on-one situation with Orton bouncing him off the rope, off the barricade, and now bouncing him off once again. And a third time. And now Orton, does he have a store? Oh, gut first. Gut first off of the barricade. The crowd here in New Orleans got a close-up and personal view of that situation. And now the action is spilled right back inside the ring. And now Orton possibly setting up for something, but Wheeler had a scout and another drop kick to the chest. The slow and technical aspect of FTR is on full display. That is what brought them to the dance, and that is what brought them multiple tag team championships wherever they went. NXT tag team champions, Raw tag team champions before they were merged with SmackDown to become the WWE tag team champions, and now the winners of this entire situation. Oh, what an elbow to the side of the face. The winners of this entire tournament will face the Street Profits for the tag team titles at WrestleMania, and FTR will love nothing more than to do just that. And now speaking of FTR, they're going for an early big rig. The big rig, and now it looks like Wheeler's trying to block Edge from making the save, and a 3-0. Orton kicked out of the big rig. The hesitance. It looks like Dax did not expect Orton to kick out of the big rig, and now Dax. What a shot to the face as Orton tried to taunt, but that was not smart on Orton's part. What a lariat by Orton, and another lariat. Ducks out of the way into the scoop slam. Orton has just tapped into a whole nother zone. Mike, you might want to get out of the way of this. A draping DDT, patented vintage Orton, as Michael Cole would say, wherever he is right now. But nevertheless, Orton is on a shift into a whole other gear. We saw this RKO. Just like the last time, Orton makes the tag, and this crowd is red hot for this. Edge gets rid of Wheeler because he has that look in his eyes. We know what's next. Dax spear. And just like that, FTR's hopes of making WrestleMania their night for the Rebellion has gone up in smoke. Rated RKO advances. What a match between these two teams, but this is where I thought it was over for Randy Orton. They hit the big rig, FTR hit the big rig, the double knees to the face, and Cash was in perfect position to block Edge from breaking the pinfall. But somehow, some way, Orton found a way to power out and made quite the comeback. The draping DDT, RKO, and just like the last time, set up for Edge to hit the spear. And that was it for FTR. Edge asked Randy Orton to get the band back together, and so far they've been 2-0, clearing out both tag teams representing the Rebellion. And I can't say that I'm sad about it, but the stage is set for next week. The finals is set. Raymond Rowe and Hanson have been on the warpath, and now they are coming face to face with two grizzled vets looking for one final run, and neither team is looking to lose. Rated RKO, War Raiders, the winners will face the Street Profits for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. And speaking of the War Raiders, last week Raymond Rowe bled for his team to get to this point, and that should be proof enough in regards to what they will do to get those tag team titles. But you gotta respect the grind of Orton and Edge since reuniting. They've been hanging in there, and next week they go to war, pun intended, with arguably one of the best damn tag teams in the world today. And I cannot wait for that showdown. And what the hell? Anderson and Gallows. Anderson and Gallows, they did not take their loss last week lightly to the War Raiders, and now they're looking to take out Rated RKO. Yet again, these two teams have quite the history, especially these two men right here, Carl Anderson and Edge. Remember that steel cage match, and Anderson putting Edge on the shelf with that pump kick. And now Gallows taking a fight to Orton. Oh, Orton. RKO! And now Orton. RKO to Carl Anderson. As the War Raiders look on, this is what they got to expect. And another RKO to Big LG. Paying for the sins of attacking rated RKO. Orton just took out both men, and now Edge not done. He was like, Carl Anderson ain't got enough spear. He's like, you ain't got enough since that steel cage match, but I'll oblige. And now the Big LG trying his best to fight. But that's it for you, son, because you got this in your future. Spear! The Good Brothers made a bad mistake attacking Rated RKO from behind. Like I said, I guess they never learned their lesson after their last encounter with these two. As Orton exposed of Anderson, and now Edge throwing out the trash with Big LG. Nevertheless, Orton and Edge are close to fulfilling their vision of holding those tag team titles one more time. But they need to now turn their focus to the team that is currently stalking them right now. That is the War Raiders. The tension is becoming thick because of what's at stake on the final edition of Monday Night Carnage before WrestleMania. Rated RKO, War Raiders, the finals of the tag team tournament. What a showdown that will be. And speaking of showdowns, these two former best friends will finally come to blows at WrestleMania. But before we reach that destination, we'll hear from both Bayley and Sasha Banks via satellite in just a heartbeat. Sasha and Bayley. What the? Jon Moxley is here. We haven't seen his WrestleMania opponent since he dropped the bomb on him about that unsanctioned match. But what is he doing? What's he doing here? Moxley, he wants a match? He wants a match right now. What? I guess that's next. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Jon Moxley. Yes, you heard that right. Jon Moxley demanded the cabinet sanction a match. I guess that's some kind of warm-up. And his wish has been granted as Tony Nese has the unfortunate task of going one-on-one with the unhinged and unpredictable former WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Jon Moxley. Moxley is still somewhat recovering from it, having his head and face driven into concrete last month, which is why his match against Shawn Michaels for WrestleMania was signed as unsanctioned, because WWE will not be held responsible for what happens between the two, and this match won't be in the record books, meaning Shawn Michaels is still technically retired from in-ring competition. But ever since this match was announced, HBK has been MIA. He's been radio silent. Hopefully that changes at some point before their unsanctioned match, but there is really nothing left to be said. Moxley returned to WWE for one thing and one thing only, and that is to aid in getting rid of the rebellion once and for all. And what better ways to do that than by eliminating the founding father at the show of shows in your type of match. The founding father is nowhere to be found, but Moxley is not even dressed to wrestle. He's still wearing his street clothes with his fists taped up. I still can't believe what this is not on my rundown sheet. I was set for a sit-down interview with Bayley and Sasha Banks, but I guess that has to wait because Moxley wants a fight and his wish has been granted. And I don't think anybody in this crowd is disagreeing with that. Jess, you might have your hands full with this one. There's the bell, and here we go. Tony Nese. He has pride, kid, but now Moxley unleashing the fury of offense, raining down those strikes on the face of Tony Nese. And this isn't your typical type of way we get matches done, but Moxley has been on a different level ever since returning to the WWE during the Men's Royal Rumble match as a surprise replacement after he took out Mustafa Ali, who hasn't been seen since. But Tony Nese, I feel bad for you, kid, because you got to deal with this situation right here. Nevertheless, we haven't seen Moxley in the ring one-on-one since June of last year here in the WWE, since that WWE Championship tournament. Oh, as he takes Tony Nese's head clean off. So technically, this is his first one-on-one match officially before that unsanctioned match. Oh, what a running bulldog by Mox. And now Moxley has knees. Oh, and another kick to the chest. But as I mentioned, Moxley, this is his first match since being medically cleared to return to action. Oh, and a Death Rider. That ain't no dirty deeds. That ain't no paradigm shift. He is all about dishing out the death. As Moxley has Niche right where he wants him with another Death Rider. Wherever Shawn Michaels is watching, I hope he's ready for anything, because Moxley is ready with guns a-blazing. I would say this was an incredible match, but was it really a match? Because Moxley had 100% of the offense. And you saw the first Death Rider, and then the second one where you see that he drops him on his head, which is the same thing that happened to Shawn Michaels last June. And speaking of last June last year was when this all started. And now it comes to a head less than 2 weeks at WrestleMania. Moxley demanded that this match was sanctioned, and he got his wish, but it appears that Mox is far done from sending his message to not only Shawn Michaels, but to the man he dropped on his head in an undisclosed location in AJ Styles, a man that he has his own bones to pick with as well. But he wants to get rid of the rebellion once and for all, and he's going to send a message yet again. Tony Nese, sorry about this, buddy, but you're just a lamb that is being fed to the bull, and an elevated Death Rider. Shawn Michaels, you have been warned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse the interruption, ladies, but in less than 2 weeks, you two will clash one-on-one on night one of WrestleMania Atlanta, where the winner of your match will not only join Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Tessa Blanchard in an 8-woman elimination tag team match against Camp Spades, but your pride will also be on the line, as you two were once the very best of friends. Where are your heads at now? Bayley, starting with you. Interesting. Sasha, your rebuttal? Oh, baby language. Oh, Baylor, I'm not done. I'm not done. Wow, she just stormed off. Thank you for joining me, Sasha and Bayley, but this is more than a spot in the 8-woman elimination tag team match. This is a broken friendship beyond repair, and it comes to a head at WrestleMania as the boss, Sasha Banks, battles the disgruntled Bayley one-on-one, with the winner being added to that aforementioned tag. But after what we've seen between the two and what we just heard from these two, it's far more personal than that.
Finally, The Rock has come back! The Rock guarantees three things at this WrestleMania. The Rock guarantees to show the world that he is the most electrifying man in all of entertainment. The Rock is 6'4", 260 pounds of man that will rip your throat out.
Rusev here in the news, just like the rest of us, because his WrestleMania opponents will be live and in color next week, as the final edition of Monday Night Carnage is literally stacked top to bottom, as for the first time since Survivor Series, The Rock will be here in person to address the Bulgarian Brute and the man he screwed out of the WWE Championship. What will the Great One's final words be just 5 nights before WrestleMania weekend? And speaking of championships, he earned his shot last week by defeating Chad Gable, and now Xavier Woods gets his television championship opportunity next week when he challenges Cedric Alexander of the BDC. Will Woods be able to end primetime Alexander, or will Cedric look for another extension? And we just broke the news of Rock returning. Next week, Brock Lesnar will be in the building to sign on the dotted line for his match against the Rebellion's Daniel Bryan. All this talk and training from Bryan is going to have to rear its ugly head sooner or later. And then for the first time since that brutal street fight against Hideo Itami, the undefeated Aleister Black will be in action just 6 days before his I Quit match when he goes one-on-one with Kevin Owens. Owens has been on quite the slump in recent months. Will he be able to turn it around this go-round? And then looking for payback after what went down during that tag team match, Charlotte Flair goes one-on-one with Sonya Deville of Camp Space with nothing more but momentum and pride at stake. And breaking news from the desk of MVP, he has agreed with Commissioner Paul Heyman in favor of dropping the charges against Pete Dunne, that the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Apollo Crews will be in action against a hand-picked opponent of the CEO's choosing, with a vengeful Pete Dunne lurking. How will that fare for the champion just 6 days before his title defense at WrestleMania? Whoa, Zack Sabre Jr. is the newest member of the Kingdom. But I will be lying to you if I said the situation between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly hasn't gone under the radar with everything going on. But huge news for the Road to WrestleMania Twitch TV special. And speaking of something special, more on that just a bit, as this is your main event of the broadcast, as the man, Becky Lynch, is looking to officially welcome Ronnie, quote unquote, to the WWE with her fist. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Tessa Blanchard has been at a disadvantage for nearly a month now against Camp Spades, and that comes to a head at WrestleMania. But Becky has to get there, because despite her experience in this business, I don't think Becky has faced anything like she's facing right now in Ronda Rousey. The man says she's ready for the baddest woman on the planet. Will she be proven to be a liar? Find out when we come back next for our main event. This crowd is buzzing with anticipation as for the first time ever on Monday Night Carnage, the baddest woman on the planet sees singles competition as rowdy Ronda Rousey faces a very focused Becky Lynch in our main event. As Ronda makes her way to the ring, as this crowd here in New Orleans is showering her with just praise despite her recent actions. But what about what we heard before the break? On the Road to WrestleMania Twitch TV special, 2 huge matches signed that could change the Intercontinental title match into a 4-way. More information will be released on joshuagresham.org/Gresh. Make sure you check that out as we turn our undivided attention for this main event. Becky Lynch was once a dominant women's champion, going one-on-one with a UFC Hall of Famer and the best friend of Shayna Baszler, who's surprisingly absent from Ronda's side. No doubt a cause by the cabinet, who's banned all parties from ringside. Ronda made her shocking debut back at the Royal Rumble and now has the opportunity to let the locker room know what she brings to the table a mere weeks before WrestleMania. Both women has been training. There's the bell, and here we go. Big fight field, as this is your main event of the evening. Here we go as Ronda is begging Becky to make the first move. She says, make your move. Will Becky, elbow collar tie up. And now Becky overpowering somehow Ronda into the corner, and Mike's going to step through these two women to make sure that they break it clean. Oh, and Becky getting her shots in while she can, and it looks like a smirk came across the face of Ronda as she charged her with that shoulder tackle. It's like she waiting for Becky to make a mistake, and hitting her in the face like that, made a mistake. All this training that both women did prior to this match is going to come into play. But I don't think any type of training that Becky can do will prepare her for the caliber athlete that is Ronda Rousey. Camp Spades has been looking for a changing of the guard by getting rid of Becky, Charlotte, and somehow Tessa Blanchard got involved as the dark horse woman of the WWE, being taken out by Ronda. But that is neither here nor there, as Ronda is already solidifying her dominance over Becky. And both women, they are key in using arm bars and various submissions targeting the arm. And now Ronda is doing smart by targeting the arm to take away the advantage of this arm. Oh, now she got the arm bar, and the ref's going to break it. There's no way she's going to be able to pick up the win in the ropes, and she clearly broke it. And now Becky with a shot to the face, got her down to a knee to clear advantage of Ronda getting back in the ring. But now Ronda takes her head clean off with that layer and a roll through. Ronda is feeling herself, which may or may not come back to bite her, but Becky, she's quickly realizing who she's stepping into the ring with. As Ronda has gone on record, it doesn't matter whether it's the octagon or the ring, she owns everything that she walks into. And now she's looking to own Becky as she continues to target that arm. Oh, she might have just snapped it out of place. Like I said, the beef between Ronda and Becky all started because of the situation involving Camp Spades, and I guess you could say the 4 horsewomen of the WWE. Oh, and another arm. because if they don't even have to worry about the situation involving Bayley and Sasha, and you clearly heard what they had to say. Oh, no. Ronda just planted her. And just like that, oh, come on, Ronda, come on. You ain't got over. She was focused on that turnbuckle, and now Becky firing up. I guess you could say this is her last chance. Oh, what a knee to the, a back kick to the face. Becky, she has Ronda, and now, the sins of Ronda is coming back to bite her as she sent her into that exposed turnbuckle. And now Becky, Mike Chioda is like, she did it to herself, and now she's got to bang. She bounced her face first, and now Becky charged. No, Becky just made a mistake and went throat first into that exposed turnbuckle. I don't know if her emotions got the better of her or what, but we saw the same mistake recently by Kofi Kingston on Carnage Gold Rush, and now Ronda taking full advantage, and she has Becky right where she wants her with this emphatic Piper's Pit. And if this happens enough times during that women's elimination tag, then Camp Space will be victorious in Atlanta. Ronda Rousey with a controversial victory over Becky Lynch on Carnage. Whether you love the outcome or not, Ronda just proved that she will do whatever it takes to pick up that win, as she put it away with that emphatic Piper's Pit. But Ronda Rousey's first singles victory on Monday Night Carnage is not without controversy, but it's a win nonetheless for the former UFC champion. But that tactic is not without a doubt from the mind of that woman making her way to the ring side area, and that's the leader of Camp Space, Shayna Baszler. Like I said, if this happens, then there's no hope for Becky Lynch and company when it comes to that 8-woman elimination tag team matchup. What the? Tessa Blanchard! She just took Ronda's head clean off with that steel chair and staring a hole in Shayna Baszler.